What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hopsgeeknews, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and typically we feature a beer of the week. I am Matt, as always, joined by Lauren, and today, in honor of the illustrious Friday the 13th, get your flash tattoos, get whatever it is. Don't go to the woods. Don't be one of those horny teenagers or whatever. Ew, that felt like so gross saying. We're talking Friday the 13th, part 2, Jason's first appearance, actually. And it came out in 1981. If you remember, his mom was the villain of the first one. Don't worry, we'll talk about how they remind you of that much. And if this is your first time, we like to go into our beer of the week, what we're reading or watching, some news, and then our main topic. I'm drinking Moon Boots from Sideward Brewing. I found it in my fridge and thought, yay, it made me think of the 80s. Like Moon Boots were big in the 80s or something like that. I don't know. In my head they were. So What do you
I thought you were going to say, because the can kind of looked like the mom's head on the table. I have a Sideward beer too. I have Brain Radio.
Oh, Josh was telling me all about that one.
Yeah, this one's pretty good. It's a New Zealand style IPA.
So, sorry.
I think there's only one left. We'll find out. We can get more. I think they had a bunch the other day. We can get more. So I have another one on deck because I already started drinking. But I have it in my Mickey Mouse Hopsgeeknews glass because the one girl is rocking a Mickey teeny tiny shirt with no bra on.
Oh man, did I ever see that one? Because I was more of like, why did Mickey Mouse let this happen? Normally they would have stopped that from happening, but they didn't care.
That is interesting. Yeah.
That was actually my thought, not the fact that her boobs were there.
Right, because you usually don't see like merchandise like that in stuff. Even in like Disney shows, a lot of times you don't see them wearing stuff. I think more so now that Disney owns everything, but
my immediate reaction was, wow, I'm surprised Disney
didn't say
this is not in this movie. But they did, and they haven't retconned it or anything. So
I should have Googled that. Maybe they got fined and we don't know.
I'll have to look into that. And so going into what we've been reading or watching, some good comic books have come out recently. DC Boss Battle 1, Jeremy Adams. There's a slew of amazing artists doing really good work on this. It was the long-awaited Homelander versus Superman, Annabelle versus Joker, things of that nature. Solid comic book, but if you're going there looking for outright fights in which there is a winner and things that are drawn out, unfortunately, I'm sorry, the fights are brief. There's no clear winner. I'm going to spoil that for you. As somebody commented on in Megan's review, very upset about that, but it's still a really good read. It felt like a video game when they're powering up. That's kind of the sense. And then from there, we had DC Night Fight, which is getting Batman back into the tournament. Really, really good book there. Archie crossing over with the Army of Darkness is a lot of fun. I love these Archie crossovers from Dynamite. And it was really fun getting to see Archie get the Necronomicon, and he unleashed demons, and then he meets Ash because Betty and Veronica both want this stuffed dog. And so now he's got to get a job to get these stuffed dogs because that's the only way he can get them. And he runs into Ash. So pick that one up. And then, of course, I
love that Archie's everywhere. I think that's awesome. Like Jay and Silent Bob, the Minor Threats. Yeah, I almost wanted to grab that comic because I love the Minor Threats one so much, but I haven't read all those, or I haven't seen all those movies. Although we did mention we would do that as an episode at our MegaCon panel.
Is top tier.
So we'll need to do. I haven't seen any of. So we'll need to do the Sam Raimi stuff.
The Raimi-verse
next Halloween. Maybe that should be like the whole month of Halloween. We'll just do the Raimi-verse.
We should. Well, speaking of Sam Raimi, real quick, I did go see Send Help, and let me tell you, that might be one of my favorite. It's honest to God.
Really try to make Rachel McAdams not look super hot.
They did a really, really good job in the beginning, and they make it like her really uncomfortable to look at in the beginning. But then as she's getting comfortable on the island, I was like, damn.
I figured that was going to happen. Yeah, but she's too pretty.
This movie it's good. It's really good. It might be one of my favorite Sam Raimi films. It is a 10 out of 10 film. It is so good the way they blend genres. And I truly didn't know how it would end. So I need you to see this movie because I
definitely want to see it. It looks good.
Incredible. Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams. Rachel McAdams is so freaking good as on this. But aside from that, we did read the Supernatural Valentine's Day. She is. I love Rachel McAdams.
That was fun.
I've loved her since day one. But yeah, the Supernatural Valentine's. What do you think about that? I liked it a lot, actually. There's references to pie and some burgers, and Preeti did a really good job.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was cool the way they introduced, obviously, a Monster of the Week. She obviously nailed the personalities, which didn't surprise me in the least, because after we got to interview her, she was just
so fun to talk to.
Much into it as we were. And then her post the day it came out was super cute, was she like posted all her like Supernatural, like, fanning over the show reactions. I like that they had a twist and everything. And I really loved because with comics, I always say, well, you can kind of judge the book by the cover with the comic, but this one, not so much. And she was even kind of upset that they put the first blade on the cover. So don't let that make you think it's season 9. Like when she showed
it's very
concern
much
for
not.
that,
Yes.
I intentionally did not use that as our cover photo on anything because
Yeah.
it wasn't season 9 and because she stressed that she was like concerned about that. But also the covers went hard on the Valentine's Day theme when it wasn't lovey-dovey. And I feel like if you're familiar with the supernatural universe, you would it was more so about heartbreak than lovey-dovey. And if you're a fan of Supernatural, you know that they I guess it's consistent with the show. They cheeseball the posters and then the stories aren't cheeseball-y.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the story because it was a lot more nuanced and a lot deeper than just, a Valentine's where you think Dean's going to be fawning over some busty Asian beauties or something of that nature. But Sam was dealing with his heartbreak still, which was kind of brought to the forefront again. And, I really like this monster of the week, but the monster of the week's kind of a swerve at the same time. And it's overall, it was really good. I really like the artwork and just the appreciation that she put into it because she is a wicked big Supernatural fan if you go back and watch our episode. So that one was awesome. I think everybody should check that out. I don't remember. Did do a... Man, I don't even remember the Marvel comics I read this week. Goodness gracious, I am slacking.
An alien one?
No, that's coming this coming week. I did a couple fun ones this past week and can't remember off the top of my head what they are. So while I look, go ahead and tell us what other things you have read.
The only other comic I did was Nightmare Before Christmas, The Shiver of Christmas from Dynamite Comic Books. So I've read a few Nightmare comics over the years. They're always fun to read. I pull them out every Christmas and Halloween. They are more geared towards an all ages kind of audience, similar to the movie.
Yeah.
It was super cute. So Shiver is a polar bear kind of creature that was created in Halloween Town. And Oogie gets a hold of him and the trick-or-treaters are trying to get him to Christmas Town because Christmas Town is about to have their first Halloween. So I think my favorite part was when they get to Christmas Town and it's they're trying to decorate for Halloween because it reminded me of my house at the holidays. Because I leave Jack, you've been to my house at Christmas.
Yeah.
And so it's a super cute comic. If you like the movie, because that's a movie I don't think anybody should touch with a 9.5-foot pole. Leave it alone. It's perfect. It doesn't need a sequel. It's perfection. However, I think the comics are a great way to dive into the universe while leaving the movie in its pristine condition as it deserves. I think
that's a really good point, actually. Yeah,
movie I would say that about because with Nightmare
Back to the Future,
there was 3 of them.
Okay, that's fine. You're right. My bad. I was thinking the franchise. My bad. But no, you're right.
I would like to see another Back to the Future. I think it would be cool to see what they think 30 years in. Because at this
over
point,
Zemeckis' dead body, you will.
But you could go back to 1985 oh my God, that's 40 years ago.
Oh God, don't do that.
So Austin Powers.
I pulled it up.
No, I've gone
Godzilla Infinity Roar. I read issue 1 of that, and if you read Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe, then this picks up right after that.
1996.
It was amazing.
30 years back.
Please, we don't have to do this. Let's not do this right now. Okay, let's not. And then our pal Josh Trujillo is writing Planet of the Apes versus Fantastic Four, and if you really want to go back,
that sounds interesting.
It's fun, and he captures the 60s vibe of when the first Planet of the Apes came out. With the first family, and the 60s vibes are there, man, and it's a really good comic book. And so yes, I highly recommend reading those 2. Those are the ones I read. But now that we are going to need some therapy, have you been watching well, you haven't been watching Shrieking because Josh.
I watched the first episode.
What do you think of the first?
I liked the first episode. It was it had it was in true Shrinking fashion. It had some great moments and it had some sad moments. But it was still hilarious and fantastic. Yeah. And the camaraderie between everybody is great. And it was we never left.
It's true. And it's really good. I really, really enjoyed this season. It's all about moving on, and it does hit really impactfully. And so aside from that, I know you're watching The Pit. Is that a solo one that you're watching without Josh?
Oh, that's one that okay. So when Josh and I watch
being married is fun, but it also sucks because when all these shows you watch, when Carrie's at work or something, I sit there and I'm like, what am I going to watch? And then I kind of scroll through and I'm like, I don't know what to watch. And so I actually started watching my screeners from Monarch last night, but then I let Oliver start watching it with me. And so now I'm trapped into watching this show with Oliver, these screeners, because Oliver loves Godzilla. And I'm like, God dang it, I can't just watch this one on my own when I got another attached to my hip.
Well, Josh is narcoleptic, so watching shows with him,
that's
what happens is we put it on, he falls asleep within 10 minutes, but he will randomly wake up. So then he thinks he watched the whole episode, and then he'll wake up at like 3 a.m. and like finish the episode. Like sometimes he'll be like, oh, do you want to watch the next one? And I'm like, you were asleep. And he's like, no, I wasn't. I go, tell me what happened.
We're 3 episodes deep now, buddy.
Sometimes I'm like, F it, I'm into this and I'm just going to keep going. And that's kind of where I'm at with The Pit. So I did not.
Oh, good.
He didn't seem as into The Pit.
I can watch season 1 though. That's what I'm
enjoying. The Pit is interesting because I feel like some of the stories are just like, okay, the end. Like there's no, like not every case is big or like mysterious or whatever.
Yeah, that's your typical.
Right. It's not just like a drama. I don't know either. But what I'm enjoying about it is I watched ER in the 90s, and Noah Wiley was the intern in that show, and now he's
the head.
Now he's the head honcho.
Dr. Robbie. That's absolutely correct. Yeah, I'm watching that too, and then I have been watching A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which I really enjoy. They're only like 30-minute episodes. I think you would really enjoy that one.
Josh watched. We watched 1 together, and then he watched 2 and 3 without me. He actually watched
3. Well, you should go back, watch 2 and 3 because episode 4 is out now as well. I think you would like this. Got me back into the Game of Thrones verse, man. Like I'm never gonna go rewatch Game of Thrones, but this got me back in the Game of Thrones verse.
No, I'm gonna watch it. I've just only seen
it's only 30 minutes too.
I had screeners for a Prime show I watched this week that I really liked that I can't talk about yet. So
that's fair. I don't know if I was allowed to say. I can say I watched tomorrow. Anyways. Well, speaking of shrinking, in the news section, it has been renewed for season 4, which I was wondering what would happen because season 3, it doesn't end in it ends where you could have ended the show. But it ended in a way that if they chose not to continue it, it would have wrapped everything up beautifully. But I'm glad they're continuing it because I need this show so badly. It is
season 5 of Supernatural.
Yeah, I basically, but I need this show, man. This show is so good.
It is a good show, but also it's like when one of your main characters is 83 years old.
Yeah, Harrison Ford's 83, but you'll see, you gotta watch. You'll see what happens. I'm not gonna say anything else. What else?
Want to hear anything? Oh, I did finish the Stephen King book 11/22/63.
Oh, okay.
And because Josh kept saying, he's like, did you finish the book yet? I want to watch the series is now on Netflix.
Well,
the book's like 850 pages, so it took me a little bit, but it was really good. It was really, really good. So I do have an article up on Nerd Initiative where I give a non-spoiler review of the book, and then I compare some Hulu things that I liked and didn't like that they did compare to the book. Now so in the book, like the whole point is they find this time traveling portal and it drops you in September 1958. And so the guy who discovered it's like, I want to go back and I want to stop Lee Harvey Oswald from killing Kennedy because that's going to prevent the Vietnam War and that's going to prevent all these young men from dying and all this, and it'll prevent this chain of reaction of all this bad crap that's happened in the last 50 years. Yeah. But he's gotten too old and whatnot and he can't do it. And every time you come back from the portal, you can see the future that you changed, but if you go back into it, it resets everything. So then if you just walk in and come out, then it's just like it was. So he can't do it. So he enlists his younger friend to go do it. And the younger friend, though, you're dropped 5 years before Kennedy's assassinated. So he has something else. He's like, okay, well, I know this person that something tragic happened to them in 1958. That can't be a coincidence. I'm going to go back and I'm going to prevent that from happening. But the place in the city in which that happens is another city that is very, very relevant in another Stephen King book. And it's more relevant than it just being an Easter egg.
Derry, Maine.
I was trying to avoid that, but I guess it was kind of obvious.
Oh, it was Derry, Maine? That's the only other Stephen King city I know.
Well, I mean, he does, all his stuff is in Maine or Sarasota, it seems like. But sometimes the places are like Duma Key, that's a fictional key off the coast of Florida with one of his books. But so he goes to Derry and there's cameos. And this is like the first maybe 250 pages or this story here. He's not even in Texas yet. And he makes comments about the feelings he gets and the stories he gets and how this city is so different and how the people are different and why they're different. So it's really cool because it's not just like in Running Man where he hides out in Derry for however long. Like there's no mention of anything whatever in Running Man in the book or the movie. So that was really, really cool. And it had nothing to do with Kennedy. It was completely separate. So you don't even get to Texas for a while, but then he's still got years and he's got to verify that Lee Harvey Oswald was the only person. Cause of course there's all these conspiracies that he wasn't working alone and that he was a scapegoat and all these different things. So it's like, you have to make sure that Lee Harvey Oswald was the sole gunman because otherwise you're just delaying it. You're not stopping it. And all these bad things are still going to happen. And of course, other stuff happens personally and in the past is fighting against him. And it's fantastic. I loved the ending in both the show and the book. It was really, really good. I liked it. I recommend it. So yeah.
Nice.
Stacy, go read it.
What other news do we got? I know we got the shrinking news, but what other shows are wrapping up or continuing?
We got this piece of Last of Us news. I don't want to confirm this. There's rumors that it will only be 3 seasons when it was originally supposed to be 4. I don't think that's been fully confirmed. I think that's
they haven't confirmed it, but also like the showrunner left and stuff. And there's really not much more to it than when they go back with Abby's character and then things happen. So I can see it ending in 3, but I think they're going to stretch it out to 4. I don't think this will end in 3.
I can't imagine the drop off they had from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Well, you just say a couple episodes into 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Black Mirror is getting a season 8. I will take all the Black Mirror I can get.
Well, we're living it, but
I know. Kevin Smith is writing Bizarro. Did we talk about that yet?
No, we didn't, but I am really excited for that one. I am super pumped for some Kevin. Anytime we get Kevin Smith comic books, I'm really pumped because he does a good job.
Yeah, and I love when, well, I guess all comic book writers are fans, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
He's just a more vocal fan.
He's a nerd who got big, but
yeah.
MegaCon,
he got big and then he got skinny.
That's true.
He's not Fat Man anymore. Daphne Keane and Jim Cummings are coming to MegaCon.
I'm pumped for that. Daphne Keane would be awesome.
I know, and now I can wear Winnie the Pooh stuff to MegaCon.
That is right. You certainly do. See, they have a Winnie the Pooh Lego set coming out. I know you don't like Legos, but
I like figs, but I don't like Legos. I like looking at Legos. I just don't like putting them together.
All right, well there you go. Buy it and I'll put it together.
Furniture.
I'm just like a crackhead. Like, get that Lego set and let me put it together. Come on.
We were at Barnes and Noble, and I wanted to buy that Nightmare Before Christmas set to like put under the tree. Would be so cute, but I don't want to put it together.
I'll put it together. I got you. Next time I'm at the house.
So if I buy it, you will come. Wait, no. If I build it, you will come.
If you buy it, I will build.
This doesn't work.
Yes. What does work is Jason starting his rampage of killing people to include a poor, wheelchair-bound man who is about to get some booty for the first time. So let's dive into that.
I don't know if it was the first time.
Who knows? He's about to find out if it works or not. So let's go in and find out what gets Jason going. Friday the 13th, part 2. Yeah, so 5 years after the events of the very first film, a summer camp next to the infamous Camp Crystal Lake is preparing to open. However, the legend of Jason is weighing heavily upon everybody there, basically. It is... Yeah.
Paraphrasing the description from IMDb.
It is. In this movie, if you didn't watch the first movie, that's okay, because they spend the first 10 minutes of this movie replaying. This movie is an hour and 26 minutes long, and they spend 10 minutes replaying the first movie because it opens up with the main character who survives the first movie, and then Jason, literally just replaying what happens at the end before it actually gets into it. But this movie was directed by Steve Miner, written by Ron Kurz, and of course, it was released May 1st, 1981. Like I said, it's 87 minutes. The budget was only $1.25 million. And surprisingly, in 1981, it made $21.7 million, and it is distributed by Paramount Pictures. So the cast, we got Amy Steele as Ginny Field, John Fury as Paul Holt, Adrienne King as Alice Hardy, Kristen Baker, Terry McCarthy, and then Warrington Gillette as Jason Voorhees, he's unmasked. And then Steve Daskowitz as the masked version of Jason. So
there's really no familiar faces.
Not really, but following the success
Kevin Bacon in this.
It's not. That's the next one, I think, right? Yeah. And then, so following the success of 1980s Friday the 13th, they kind of started to get the distribution rights. Paramount did. They really wanted it to be an event where teenagers would flock to theaters, on Friday night. And this was a once a year release thing that they wanted to do and make it scary and all that kind of stuff. And so they decided to go with the sequel, Jason Voorhees, even though, he really wasn't around, and his appearance in the first movie was actually originally meant to be a joke. But they believed in the idea. Then Steve Miner went on to direct the first 2 sequels after, Cunningham opted not to return to the director's chair after the first one. So Cunningham really felt mixed about the entire Friday the 13th enterprise. He just wasn't in for it, but that's okay because we're all in for it. That's how it goes. And so it is. So Lauren, why don't you go ahead and let's start breaking down what happens in Friday the 13th, part 2.
Y'all are in for a treat. So we kick off with some kid walking around at night singing Itsy Bitsy Spider. Then we get a recap of the first movie via a nightmare from
they sure do.
Survivor.
Is it a nightmare?
It's something.
She looked like she was thrashing about all right.
In her little green overall thingies. That like a toddler. Alice, who took off the head of Mrs. Voorhees, who is Jason's mom, The actual killer in the first one is what she's having the nightmare about everything that happened. So she wakes up and she's talking to her mom on the phone. She takes a shower and then she finds Mrs. Voorhees' severed head in her fridge, and suddenly Jason stabs her in.
I got to ask a question. So when she's walking past the fridge, first of all, like the window's open, a cat jumps through, whatever. There's a watermelon on top of the fridge. Do you think Jason, the prankster that he is, walked into that house, took the watermelon from said fridge, set it on top of the fridge because it's a very random place to put a watermelon, and then was giggling to himself as he put his mom's decomposing head inside of this refrigerator?
I feel like I've put a watermelon on top of the fridge before.
You normally cut it. I don't know. Maybe it was already on top.
Before you cut it, like then you cut it and you put it in the fridge. Like if there's not room in the fridge, like watermelons can be big. What if you're putting vodka or rum in it?
I don't know. It just felt like Jason, the little prankster, being like, here, takes this watermelon out. Well, yeah, he's silent. But I just feel it in my head. Jason's laughing to himself, taking this watermelon, putting it on top of the fridge. And then he puts his mom's head in there and he's like, yeah. I don't know, the little prankster. Like he's just carrying around his mom's head. Like, I don't know. Anyways.
This movie was very slow.
He stabs her in the brain with like a screwdriver, which was
that
they start to it looked like it wasn't a knife. It was maybe it was an ice pick. You're right. I think it was an ice pick. My bad.
I mean, I've literally only seen ice picks in movies because that's not a thing we have nowadays. We have functional freezers that you don't have to chip away ice.
I got an ice machine that does chipped ice or cubed ice, okay?
Wasn't it an ice pick something to like?
Yeah, well, you break up the blocks of ice.
Got too frozen though. It wasn't to get ice.
Oh, yeah. You can get the jammed ice out, but like most people would just have blocks of ice in their fridge or your freezer, back in the old days, and so they.
In the 80s, though.
Probably not the 80s. I don't know, man.
I will say I was not alive when this movie came
Listen,
out,
I wasn't alive in the 80s.
I know you like to say that I'm so old. I invented letters, but think of Phoenician if you can read this.
Letters, okay. All right.
So we see new teenagers and a creepy old man telling them they're old. This dude didn't even take his own advice.
This dude just shows up and he's like, "You're doomed." But then he like shows up at the camp again later on, and it's like, "Buddy,
right? What? Yeah,
he's so weird."
He was weird. He had it coming. Then we meet the guy from Ratatouille, Linguini.
Oh, yes.
And they find the Camp Crystal Lake sign, and Linguini calls it Camp Blood, but he doesn't want to talk about it, but not in like a traumatized way of like, I don't want to talk about it. More in a like, you probably don't want me to talk about it. We then see Jason's arm, and we get a view of a lovely lake house that is completely not ADA compliant at all. And then we cut to some Disney sponsorship where she's a woman. I don't know. Are they even adults? I guess
no, they're definitely, I mean, they're
like 18, 19.
They're adults, but I think the actors and actresses are adults, but they're supposed to be like teenagers, I think.
Some of them were drinking. The drinking age in the 80s was 21.
Oh, it was. You're right. Yes, it was.
Okay. But yeah, so I actually did just look up. So the girl's wearing basically a child-sized Mickey Mouse shirt. So it's like a crop top, and she like does not have a bra on. It looks good on her. I'm not gonna lie.
She was looking bad.
She's actually apparently, I Googled it and I couldn't find anything about any of whatever, but she was worn that shirt to conventions. And I'm like, that's awesome. That's like the guy from Lost Boys bringing his saxophone. Like, interesting.
Yeah. Fun. Well, I tried to just look up, and I don't see anything about Disney saying anything about her wearing that.
That's where that's what I tried to. I'm sure if we dug deeper, who knows?
I'm sure we did, but yeah, that's when the camp counselor orientation kind of goes down, and Ginny shows up a little bit late. Loves saying her boyfriend's name, Paul.
Take a shot every time she says Paul. My God,
she does. I don't understand how she became the final girl, but hey, whatever. Now we cut to a campfire as the boss man's telling the story of Jason over some marshmallows, and then he tells him that one survivor disappeared 2 months earlier, and there was blood everywhere. And surprise, we're all the first people back since the murders, and it was a gotcha moment as the Linguini jumps out. That's not his name. If you literally put a side by side of him with the guy from Ratatouille,
I did it. I literally Googled both.
The same. We're gonna have to put that image.
Make a TikTok or something,
just because literally the same. Now he has some like weird caveman scares it, and there's something I want to point about this. Because our wheelchaired friend was sitting there, and he got out of there fast on that wheelchair on sticks and everything. I go, he's here. And then Linguini jumps out and that man is poof, gone in a puff of smoke. I was impressed because
I put this in the notes at some point. He reminded me of the guy from Family Guy in the wheelchair.
Oh, yeah, the cop dude. Yes.
Yeah, that's like super strong and everything, but he's just
he's like a handsome looking jock looking guy, but he got obviously into a motorcycle accident and is what he says. But it's just funny how fast he was gone from that campfire. And then he just comes wheeling back and I'll go, how did he leave that fast? Because that's woods. And sir, that wheelchair is not motorized or anything like that. Anyways, while some super white people are doing their white people dance because they don't have moves at all. No, those hips are lying left and right. Ginny heads on out off to bed in her cabin. And now we get to watch her undress because you cannot spell horror without some naked girls getting undressed in front of the mirror. And, is his name Paul? I think his name's Paul.
Paul, is it? So Paul. There's actually a Friends episode where there's Paul the wine guy, and they keep saying Paul the wine guy, and then they're like, Paul, is it? And that was what I heard. Like, Paul. What is the movie? Oh, what's the baby, the girl, not Jamie Lee Curtis, the other one in Halloween, and she keeps saying the little girl's name she's babysitting.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes. Oh my God. And her voice is
Paul.
Whenever I hear, like, when I'm saying Paul, I'm saying it in her voice from Halloween.
Yes.
Because that's what I hear.
That's what I'm hearing.
Andy.
Oh my God.
Yes, it was. That's what. Oh yes.
Okay. People don't use names that much unless you're calling someone. Like if my husband calls me Lauren, he's either yelling for my attention thing, I think, right? Or like, we're in an art. Like
Carrie's like, you don't say my name, and when it is, I feel like it's negative.
Right. So like if he says Lauren, I'm like, what did I do? Like I will call him Joshua. I will call him Dubin. I will call him anything other than Josh unless I'm mad at him. Like that's or I'm yelling for his attention. So
I really just don't say people's names.
She really doesn't like Paul.
Maybe she gets a stipend every time she says Paul. I have no idea, but he does show up.
A bet, like meow, meow now, ma'am. What do I look like, a cat?
They start to get down and dirty, and then we see the creepy old guy who's just out there cucking in the woods with Jason. Those two are just
from the Beetlejuice.
All right, but like Jason does Jason's a little bit of most of the time he's just watching from the woods.
Michael is too.
They all are. They're just sitting there getting a little freaky, watching things go down because he's watching the guy's watching him make out, but Jason gets him. Jason says, "Hey man, there's only room for one of us out here, and that's me."
Peeping Tom.
So let's take us back to the wheelchair guy in the morning.
It's morning. The wheelchair dude cheers on all the counselors as they jog. That's nice of him.
That's tough.
You see a little dog just wandering around. They had a whole conversation about bears and wildlife, but they just let the tiny dog wander around like no big deal. The dog finds Jason, and then it immediately cuts to a shot of hot dogs. Which
Jason is many things, but Jason is not an animal killer, okay?
But they make you think he is.
They make you think he is, but Jason is a man of principle, almost.
How do you think he's surviving though? He's eating some animals.
All right, maybe he's supernatural.
The dog.
Well, he's not killing the poor dog.
Do you think he's eating people like a Wendigo?
Listen, Jason probably
a Wendigo? Is that how he's been surviving all these?
I don't know. Maybe he's eating some leftover. He probably, honestly, how he's surviving, he's killing so many unsuspecting kids who are grilling out. He's probably eating all their leftovers. Honest, that's probably what he does. But he's eating the watermelon that's sitting on top of the fridge.
I don't know. Watermelon's very good for you. That's good.
Stay hydrated. Like he's out there doing a lot of walking.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of killing and lifting and running. He did run in this.
It was weird, but nonetheless, Jason doesn't kill dogs. All right, and then the cut to the hot dogs.
They make you think he does. So the concern for who I went on a cruise in 2019 with a bunch of my girlfriends from high school, and a bunch of us did this stupid swim with pigs, which I highly ill-advise.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about because I was asking about
terrible. There's just pig shit everywhere. It's blocked off. It's not fun. I didn't want to do it, but it was one of those. Most of us are doing it, so I'll do it. So in the photo album, I have pictures of everybody holding pigs, and in the middle is our friend Brandy who did not do it. And while we were swimming with pigs, she was eating a hot dog, and I have a picture of her with a hot dog in the middle of this, all of us holding pictures.
Just Jason hanging out with Muffin, pigs, hanging out at the end of all this, eating hot dogs.
She literally texted to us while we were doing this stupid pig thing. Okay, that's just what it made me think of. Okay, your turn.
Swimming time. Of course, there's a crazy girl that has to go to see Camp Blood. That's when she finds Muffin, or what we think was Muffin. Now, the world's worst actor who's actually playing a cop, he's got no hair, is balding, not looking good. He stops them, yells at Paul, and warns him, it's been quiet for 5 years, Paul. Let's keep it that way. And, well, not so.
This should have been a commentary. We should have done. We should bring back commentary episodes.
I think you're right. This one would have been
a movie
gold.
that needed it.
This is one where we just drink a lot of beers and wolf. So back to the counselors. Their last night without the kids. It's party time because, of course, we got a lone skinny dipper out in the lake.
It's a Mickey Mouse girl.
Okay, but
hot dog,
okay, by yourself in a lake at night?
I have no issue skinny dipping, especially in like a lake. Like, what's going to be in a lake
at night by yourself? Listen,
I'm
white, but I'm not that white.
I've gone swimming in the ocean at night. I'm not. My thing is, she took off her bottoms. I'm not getting in a lake without bottoms.
So it's not skinny.
I'm fine. I would skinny dip in the ocean. I don't know. Lakes to me are a little bit icky, maybe because I live in Florida and we.
Nonetheless, she's got tan lines and stuff. Okay,
she owns bottoms. That's evidence she owns bottoms.
And can we talk about how the creepy guy who's been like hitting on her to no avail steals her clothes? And he's really creepy. He's just laughing weird with his stupid teeth. He's like,
and he acts like he's being cute. Ugh, everybody knows that guy. That guy's out. There's so many that guy's out there.
And then he gets trapped, strung up.
Oh, no.
She goes to get help. Jason, thankfully, listen, again, was Jason such a bad guy because he got rid of this? All right. Now we get arm wrestling. What happens with the arm wrestling? Because this is where the good stuff happens.
Okay, so back to the counselors. It's their last night without the kids. So they're like, hey, do you want to party? Of course, they all want to do different things. So that's when we got and all that, and we get arm wrestling. So the wheelchair dude is kicking everybody's ass, and that's when I was like, this guy has Family Guy vibes going on. And then two of them go leave to have sex, and so without a doubt they're signing their death certificate.
Oh yeah.
And then some others go to a local bar. They're drinking some Budweisers. Ginny, Paul, and Linguini discuss the possibility of an actual Jason. So this scene, I actually enjoyed this scene, other than when she said the R word.
Yeah, yeah. They're just hanging out in the bar. They're just chilling,
But you see Ginny empathizing, like if Jason is real, I feel bad for him. He doesn't know any better. He's probably still like a child in his head, and all he saw was his mom getting murdered. And I felt like this right there was like, oh, there's your sole survivor, because she's empathizing.
Even though she's terrible, whatever. Paul
just had to stop saying Paul. You know what's funny? My friend Paul literally just texted.
Ah, man.
All right, so back at the cabin, a girl asked the wheelchair dude. She wasn't even subtle. She's basically like,
she was all thirsting for this man.
Does your job still work? And then she just pulls that out.
She goes, want a taupe? It's long. This thing is like a foot long. It's not that long, but
that was a Jerry from Subway size blank.
She pulls out a big sandwich. He's like, want a taupe? And he's like, no. She's over here like, Jesus.
Yep. Yeah, those subs used to be $5 back in the day. So we then see her in her bra, so we know she's done for, and she puts on her sexy full coverage.
All right, okay, time out.
And bathes herself in perfume.
She gets real giddy about these ugly gold. Like she pulls up in front of the mirror, and she's like
too big for her.
Okay, her booty did.
Granny panties.
I'm not here to like shame, but girl. They did not. You were not fitting in those. You were looking like you was like you pooped yourself running around out there. But like literally, she pulls up these like ugly gold granny panties, and she thinks that like they're the hottest thing ever in front of the mirror. And she's like, ooh, and I'm like,
I'm gonna get me some.
You're lucky this man is like.
Oh, and then when she went to the car, I thought she was getting condoms, and she pulls out a hairbrush.
Yeah, she goes out to the car and I was like, oh, that's good. Gold brown underwear, and is like, oh my god.
Even when she bent over, they were too loose.
Yeah, and then she was like perfuming everywhere.
Dude, she's perfuming in spots.
She perfumed her.
Like nobody wants to taste perfume.
Listen, his legs don't work. I think his nose works just fine. You don't have to do that.
Right, and then she's sprayed things that I don't think are hygienic to spray.
No, girl, you shouldn't be doing that. Like it's a self-cleaning thing.
Exactly.
God, if it worked going into this, had it happened, it probably wouldn't have worked afterwards because of all the chemicals.
Oh my god, so gross. I don't like perfume at all. It gives me a headache, so I can't even imagine being like
The guy I feel the worst for is because then our dude in the wheelchair goes out looking for her. And I'm sorry, when they got really up close to his eyes, he's a little like, his eyes looked a little cross-eyed. It looked like he was almost blind because his eyes were like 8 different directions. I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed this.
And his height of sense was probably even stronger. He was going to kill him.
He's Daredevil. His legs just don't work. But then he gets an axe to the face.
All right, we're jumping ahead. Where are we?
No, this is where we're at.
We're at full coverage panties. Okay, sweater and panties. She heads out to the car for a hairbrush. Poor wheelchair dude goes to the porch looking for her. Okay, you're right. But then what happens after he gets the axe to the face?
He gets the axe. He rolls off the porch down this long stairway.
It reminded me of Dirty Dancing. You know the stairs that she's like dancing on? That's what I thought of when he's like...
Okay, it's like the John Wick stairs from like John Wick 4 where he's like going up and down these mile-long stairs. But this poor guy got an axe to the face and they just pushed a dummy in a wheelchair down a long
You could tell it was a dummy in a wheelchair.
It was like slow motion. And I'm like, why did they have to do an axe to the face? Wasn't enough, but they pushed him down these stairs.
Right. So what was he going to do? Get up and run for help?
Oh my God. It was ridiculous.
But I think the thing we can all take away from this is that Jason doesn't see disability.
He is an equal opportunity killer. All right. Maybe he was just like, hey, listen, bud, I'm going to hit you right in the nose so you don't have to smell what's coming.
He doesn't want to smell what the rock is cooking.
Anyways, next up, the couple who's actively getting it, we cut right to them. They're finishing up. All right. They end up getting a spear through both of them and through the bed because what is a horror movie if people are not getting groovy and get a double kill?
In the bed?
Yeah, she didn't look very surprised, okay, if her head sewn to the carpet.
So this is what I wrote. She could not have looked less surprised than if she had woken up with her head sewn to the carpet. She did not look surprised, like barely at all. She looked like she had just gotten a gift she didn't like, and she was trying to pretend like she liked it.
Was just, yeah.
All right, then our sweater and panties girl finally gets it. She gets it, though, like Deadpool with a Zamboni gets it, because she stands there for a decent amount of time while Jason slowly walks up to her with a pillowcase over his head and stabs her, but it doesn't even look like he stabbed her. It just looks like I don't even know how to describe it. She's just like leaning back, and it's just like
terrible.
Down. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
I had to open up a treehouse beer in honor of the rest of this movie because it's somebody on a boat in a lake. It's called Whisper, which actually would have been perfect to drink earlier too, because the whispering of the sound anytime Jason's meandering through the woods, but also, yeah.
Well, see, I also watched Elektra today, and at first I was like, oh, that's from Jason, but it's Elektra whispers in your ear.
Oh, you just absolutely were on it's a Marzen. Okay, well, you were on an all-time run of just great
movies. I
watched the 2003 Daredevil recently as well. In addition to this,
I've never watched Elektra before. It's not good.
It is bad. They set you up for a sequel, and then you get that Elektra, and it's bad. So when they brought her back for Deadpool and Wolverine, it goes, oh, she got justice, thankfully. Yeah. Meanwhile, Leather Daddy Ben is out there still, but
whatever. He had Batman. So side note real quick, why we watched Daredevil and Elektra is if you follow us on Nerd Initiative, starting this week, we are going to be doing 60-minute recaps of every single Marvel
60-second, Lauren, not 60 minutes. God dang it.
I keep doing that. Time is relative. 60-second recap.
Well, when you're recapping 60 seconds of Elektra, God, I bet you it feels like 60 minutes because, jeez.
It was rough. It was very rough. And I predicted for the second the movie started, I knew exactly the whole movie was going to be.
She goes back to life, obviously. And
no, not just that, just the marks and the people. And I knew immediately the second I met the dad and the daughter, I was like, well, I know how this is going to end, but you're going to have to wait for my 60-second recap on Nerd Initiative. So we are going to go through all 96 movies and TV shows of Marvel, starting with, but there's only one Blade. Okay.
There is. All right. Now we're at the point where Ginny and Paul are coming back from the bar. Okay. Ugh. Take a shot every time she says Paul again. Okay. Now Jason's there. He attacks Paul. And Ginny's just kind of standing there watching Jason and Paul duke it out. She's kind of into it.
Trying.
She's just there.
Girl, grab something. Do something.
It's like she's attending a sporting event. She's just kind of there and she's not into it.
Like, you got it, Paul.
But this is when, Linguini, Remy shows on up, which causes her to pee herself. Very
unexpected. Linguini doesn't show up. A rat shows up. So Remy
you're right. Sorry,
it
is Remy show up. You're right.
That's what it is.
And this is what does it in. She finally pees herself.
Linguini stayed at the bar and saved his own ass. He probably got a
yeah,
job
that's
at like
right,
an
he
Italian
did.
restaurant or French restaurant.
I completely forgot that he stayed behind and he lives. Of all the people in this movie to live, he's the one to live.
And then he went and read a book or something about anybody.
He went on to become a French chef.
in France.
All right. Yes. So it gives her away. Unfortunately, though, the next funniest moment is when Jason is standing on this kid's chair or something, and he goes to like stab her with this pitchfork, but the freaking chair breaks and he falls down. It's just
well, okay. But it gave her away because she pissed herself.
She did, but then Jason's just up on this like kid's chair that he's 6'5", like 300 pound
like,
Jason, and he falls to this chair when he goes to dive on her with a pitchfork.
But in the fun facts I was reading, one of them was like, it wasn't her that pissed herself, it was the rat. That rat's entire body had to have been filled with urine. That doesn't make sense at all.
No. Now, after he falls, she gets a chainsaw, and instead of finishing him off, she runs away, and she also hits him with a chair, which breaks another chair over this dude's back. So Jason's getting it at this moment. He's not doing well. He's down. He's not out. But
human in this.
We're getting the count to 10 at this point. Yeah, Jason's very human. He's just a guy in jeans and a tucked in button down shirt with a bag over his head. I can't see freaking shit out of this thing. And so she doesn't finish him off. She runs away, where she goes into this place. She
probably hasn't seen Scream. She doesn't know the killer always comes back for one last scare.
She finds his mom's head, and then that's when Jason shows up. Ginny calls him Jason, pretending to be his mom. That's her good Jason. Listen, a lot of these people having sex could have survived if they were just into some, role playing a little bit, like her. She starts talking like his mom. He gets like down on his knees even for her. Like, it's kind of crazy. So when she gets the machete, that's when Jason sees mom's head. He says, "Not today." But then, Paul gets back.
Paul, is it?
Paul comes back. Yeah. And they limp away.
God, Paul's back.
Leaving Jason behind. Paul scoops up Ginny's piss pants and they go back to one of the cabins. And magically her pants have dried. There's no stain.
Because apparently it was Remy who peed, not Ginny.
As they lay next to the window, the music's playing. They hear something at the door.
They're laying next to a window. What's going to happen. I'm literally just staring at the window, just waiting. I'm like, this is so stupid.
We all know it's about to happen. But at the door is Muffin. Muffin's back. All right, Muffin's alive. And of course, that's when we get the Goonies version of Jason. Yes, the one time we see Jason unmasked.
I watched Goonies with Logan today.
Jason comes to the window. He's like, "Hey, you guys." But don't worry, because Ginny survives. They put her in the ambulance, and then she says Paul a few more times.
Where's Paul? Nobody knows where Paul is because they didn't tell us.
Linger awkwardly on the weird, decaying head of Jason's mom, which is vastly different from the beginning of the movie. And I thought the mom's eyes were going to move, but nope, they just weirdly lingered on it.
So I thought the eyes were going to pop open. I was literally waiting for them to pop open. And then when I researched fun facts, it's actually a person dressed, and there is a deleted scene where she did wink at the audience or at the camera. So that was supposed to happen. So kudos to them, I guess, for not doing it, because I was 100% expecting.
Yeah, this movie was something.
It was a movie.
This was actually, in terms of outrageousness and silliness for a Friday the 13th movie, I dug this because, it's good. Ooh, and sideward again.
This is 1,000 goblins, because there's 1,000 different versions of Jason.
Yeah, the funniest moment of Jason is when he punches somebody's head off and Jason takes Manhattan. But in this one, Jason legitimately struggles. He's a dude. The hockey mask doesn't come until part 3.
Which is weird.
Yeah, people often forget we associate so much with Jason.
But he does get his machete in this one. So he has a machete now.
Machete. He's like slowly leveling up in each movie, and he finally reaches his final form. I don't know how I feel about you having that just Jason doll. Like, you American Girl dolls and a Jason doll now. All right.
Well, I keep him out year round because Friday the 13th can happen anytime.
How have I never noticed him in that room? Is he always in that room?
Yeah, but he's usually down below. He only comes out for Friday the 13th.
How have I never? Okay, well.
He's been in here while you were sleeping.
Creepy. Well, I haven't died because I got the power of Jensen's. So, fun facts. Warrington Gillette's agent told him that he had a part for a camp counselor for him. He auditioned, no luck. However, the producers did like him and knew he had gone to stunt school, so he became their Jason. Interesting.
What? I didn't expect that.
Did you know that Jason was played by a woman in one of the scenes? This was the first time we see him. It's just a shot of his legs. And his legs, we knew those sexy legs from somewhere because they belong to Ellen Letter, the film's costume designer. Lieutenant Dan, you got no legs. Slice, and let's just push you down these stairs. Like, what are we doing?
Maybe he got new legs.
Can't get over the most disrespectful death in a horror movie.
So there was a shot of the infamous double impalement, but it was actually cut to avoid an X rating, yet a gory still photo still ended up getting passed around. The censored shot does appear on the back of the video cassette box. That is what people used to watch movies on back in the day.
Yes, they did.
Rent those at Blockbuster. The footage of the censored portion was finally recovered in 2020 from an old VHS of the gore shots that Carl Furleton kept for his own personal portfolio, and he included it on the Scream Factory Deluxe collection of films. So it's out there if you want to see it.
Interesting. All right. That's solid.
Scott is the first victim of Jason to be killed with the, quote, signature machete.
Hey, if you ain't first, you're last. All right, brother.
Doesn't even make sense.
Some of the people from the very first film had an issue with Jason being alive. Their thought was that it was stupid because he should have just told his mom he was alive, and then none of the murders would have happened.
Do they realize they wouldn't have been in the movie then, the first movie? Like, what?
Also, like,
what do you care?
Jason's more of like supernatural-esque, I guess, but
I guess at the time that wasn't a thing yet.
I don't know. All right. They're thinking
like so what, in the 70s, like we had Halloween, we had Jaws, we had Jason. Yeah. I guess the sequels of them becoming supernatural wasn't a thing yet.
Well, that's fair. But also they're thinking a little too deeply into these movies. Like, it's not that deep. It really is.
Again, you got your paycheck. What do you care?
They're thinking a lot more deeply than a lot of these teenagers get. So
right. It wasn't like you had just done some profound indie film. Like you did a horror
movie.
No,
it's Oscar worthy. But why didn't he tell his mom? Well, because he just wants to freaking murder people. I don't know. Maybe he was seeing what his mom was up to. He was scared. I don't know.
Maybe his mom beat him. That's probably the real story.
Also, his mom, she went to kill her real quick.
Never.
So are we sure that mom wasn't some like abuser at the same time to this poor deformed kid?
Definitely abuse her. If she's so quick to murder, clearly something probably happened to her and she passed on to her kid, and she sent her kid to summer camp and did not teach him how to swim.
She worked in the kitchen. She didn't teach him how to swim. And then she just
and she sent him to Camp Crystal Lake.
Thank you. Not to mention, I'm sorry. Also,
number one cause of death of kids in Florida.
I just feel also if you get killed by this little 5 foot tall old lady that you deserve to die, because I would have ragdolled this bitch all over.
Well, see, I don't agree with that because you never, not to quote the Mandarin, but you don't see them coming. It's underestimated.
I don't know.
So when people I will say it's their own stupidity for underestimating, the tiny little woman. I read a book at Christmas time that was called, I think I mentioned it on here, An Elderly Lady is Up to No Good. Don't underestimate the elderly or a lady.
I don't know that she anyway, whatever. Let's continue. What else we had? We are at the actors stayed in the cabins on set. John Fury, Bill Randolph, and Russell Todd came to Lauren Marie Taylor's cabin to play a prank on her. They scratched on her screen window. She began hyperventilating until she fainted. She didn't pee herself, though. It was the rat.
Or did she?
Maybe she did. Maybe that's where the pee came from.
Oh, that dirty rat.
Oh, my God.
They hired an underage girl. So the girl that kept wanting to go to Camp Blood, she was actually underage. And so they had a scene with her in frontal nudity. And then they were like, oh, she's underage. We have to cut this.
Thank you.
I don't know why they would even hire an underage kid for this movie at all. That makes no sense to me at all. Why?
It was the 80s, man.
It kind of surprised me. Also, I don't know if you've heard.
Camp Crystal Epstein Island. I don't know.
Was it Mila Kunis when she
got yeah.
that 70s show? They didn't know that she was only 14 or something. Do they not ID you when you show up to these auditions?
Well, wasn't Mila Kunis? She was from Ukraine or something, wasn't she? And
I'm
so
sure she still had an ID. It ended up working out great.
Fake IDs. Fake IDs, man. I don't know.
But I know there's different rules. I remember when I worked at Publix, I was 16 and they're like, oh, your 3 hours is up. You have to go take a break. There are certain, very different rules for underage. But you have a movie that's all about drinking and sex and getting murdered. Why would you hire a 17-year-old? Why?
It was the 80s, man. I don't know.
It wasn't like this was a profound, oh, nobody else can play this
because
role.
They were very upset.
This one girl. She's just so good.
You are so good at peeing yourself under the bed.
Oh, it was a different girl.
I know, but just thank you for ruining the joke. Anyways, In the scene where Ginny gets Jason with the machete, the actor hurts his finger and had to go to the ER. I got a boo-boo. However, he caused a bit of a scene because he walks in with the machete sticking out of his shoulder.
Apparently he has, I wanted to Google that. He has, I don't know if they're on the internet, but he has pictures of himself in full costume.
That's
like
amazing.
getting, because he walked in and they're like, it's like, no, it's just my finger.
The Pit. I know a lot of people are clamoring for them to do a Halloween episode, like a Halloween season.
Oh, because they're 4th of July right now.
Yeah. Do you know? And sabbatical. He's going on his sabbatical for 3 months.
Oh, when he comes back, it could be Halloween.
Do you know how cool that would be to like recreate an Easter egg to that scene of like somebody coming in like that? That'd be so cool.
Oh, we're filming a movie. That would be cute.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I like that idea.
But that pretty much wraps up the fun facts that we have already talked about. We talked about the rat peeing itself, the mom winking, and the rat. How dare you, Master Shredder?
It was
How
really
dare you
yellow. I was like, this girl's dehydrated. I mean, she was just drinking at the bar, but like she needs to add some more water to her diet.
Electrolytes or something. God bless. You think even if you're just drinking at the bar back in the 80s, you're drinking basically
water is Budweiser. Yeah, they were drinking Budweisers.
Come on, man.
We're at the bar, and the really cute bartender's like, "You sure you don't want me to take those bottles away?" And he's like, "No, it's okay," because he's like Linguini's playing with him. And they're like, "I think she likes you." He's like, "I think so too." No, she didn't. You look like Linguini, and you're putting beer bottles up your eyeballs.
But that saved his life potentially. He stayed there to try to flirt with her, and he lived.
Which should have signed his death warrant. So that
he actually didn't even get traumatized when you think about it. The dude experienced zero trauma. How often does that happen? Because usually the survivors have trauma. This dude
may have survivor's guilt. There was other people too. So in the beginning,
I was gonna say there's a whole bunch of people
and we never saw again. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I thought so. I thought I was losing my mind.
Woke up in their cabins and they're like, "Oh,"
they look outside. There's just like some dude in like a bag head, and they're like, "What's going on?" I'm just quiet. I'm not out here getting freaky and partying. I'm just going to sleep. We got work tomorrow. I'm responsible. I'm here just to get my charity work in for college essays and stuff like that. Good night. It could have been because there were a lot of people there. We only really focused on a few.
We wanted was the morning
after. What happens? I would love like a whole series dedicated to what happens next for any survivors of horror movies or people that you see and you never like really get closure on. What happens?
Even with Supernatural, I always felt like they should have had like card to give people. Okay, here, yes, you now know monsters are real. This is our supernatural therapist we have on call. Please call them. Like
that would be a fun show. Therapist for like that would be
meets Supernatural.
Yeah, you've got Harrison Ford talking to, except for it's Bruce Campbell's Ash as the therapist talking to. All these people have experienced supernatural entities and things like that.
Perfect. They want Bruce Campbell to play John Winchester, the older version.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. See, that'd be fun.
Oh my gosh, we need to get in contact with Jensen's production company.
Hey,
pitch this
who knows somebody? We got an idea. We're chock full of ideas. But yeah, that is Friday the 13th part 2. I hope you had as much fun as we did because next week is Cool Runnings because we are in the Olympics. The Olympics,
and it's been freezing in Florida.
The world has been a cold, cold place, but no, really, it's been really cold outside. Lauren's plants are dead. Lauren's putting out emo Facebook posts. I'm kind of surprised she hasn't swooped her hair down in a certain fashion and started like really playing My Chemical Romance or Paramore, even though she doesn't fully know who they are. But maybe we'll get that soon if that doesn't.
I have socks on my feet. I know who they are.
So every listen is going to give 1 degree warmer to Florida so Lauren can survive. And that's what you got to look forward to. But
I need the heat miser. Fuck you, Jack Frost.
Go ahead and subscribe, share all of that good stuff here. Where if you liked what you heard, come hang out with us. Shout out to our patrons who get the episodes early, ad free. And I know we've slacked on our movie nights because it just has been really busy. But we'll figure something out. Maybe we'll bring some commentaries back. If you guys want to hear some commentaries from us talking about
maybe Friday the 13th part 3. Isn't there another Friday the 13th this year? I think there is.
Is there? Well, we get 2.
I might have made that up.
Oh, goodness. I don't know. I got to go fact check. But in the meantime, Cool Runnings is next week. Get ready for the Olympics as we speed run away from Camp Crystal Lake. And we're going to go to Jamaica by way of
thank God it's warm
bobsleds and everybody else.
Get some Red Stripe. I'm not going to drink Red Stripe. But it's a fun idea. Hooray, beer.
For 5 seconds, that was fun, but I'm not going to do that. So cheers, everybody. Thank you so much. And then let us know as well what your favorite moments from this movie are, if you have. And in the meantime, don't pee yourself under the bed and do not go out into the woods.
Kegels, people, Kegels.